And I say, brother, help me please.
Hi, I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Knocking me back down on my knees. And oh, there've been times that I felt I couldn't last for long. But now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Second Annual Trailblazer Awards. Sorry, I had to take a little break, and now I'm back here. Ashley, oh my God, you're a beautiful young lady. You sounded so beautiful. I want to start by saying welcome to everyone, to our council people, Council President Sean Wooden, Councilman Kyle Anderson, Larry Dulce is sitting over here, and Councilman Cruz. Welcome, welcome. Tonight, as City Treasurer Adam Cloud, must not forget Adam. Hi, Adam. How are you? I want to thank you guys for coming. We're going to try to keep this an annual thing because it means so much to us to contribute back to our community. This fundraiser is for Trudy Murrow's Crack Family Resource Center. And I miss Miss Trudy dearly. She was one of my mentors, and I really miss her. I want to say congratulations to the nominees and welcome. Y'all do fabulous work in the community, and this is our way of honoring you. And so I'm going to start by handing the mic over to Janice so that she can do the presentation.
But before we get started on the presentation, thank you, Carla. I wanted to talk about the voices of women of color as it is today. As you know, 6 years ago, Carla, myself, and Tracy decided to develop the voices of women of color. And most recently, as of 6 months ago, I decided that I was going to work closely with Council President Sean Wooden. I was being kind of sassy when I said I decided, but the fact of the matter is the voices decided that they would like for me to work with Council President Wooden. They would like for me to learn internal government and work with other elected officials in a different capacity. And Council President, it has been a delight working with you hand in hand. I think we make a good match. I'm pretty sure you was as nervous as I was, you know, but let's keep it real. But it has been nothing but fun, a lot of learning, a lot of love, and I'm looking forward to where we're going with this. But with all that said, Carla became the new CEO. And she has, in the past 6 months, showed me that we have built something that is sustainable, that I can walk away from, and kids will still get their applications filled out, and we will still be able to work closely with other folks in the community who have a vision. Congratulations to the 7th District Town Committee for Change. We have Ms. Jean Holloway and all of those folks. Please stand up so they can see who you all are. Job well done. We also have our friends from the 1st District here, and all of the districts, the 5th District, and the Phoenix Society, who has always been our partner and has helped us. And Carla has been able to sustain those relationships and work with those folks, Achievement First, the City of New London, they're developing women at a housing project, and we have other friends who are helping us. So we are very busy, and I am so happy that Carla and the rest of the women have been able to carry the torch and make me feel real happy about moving on to other things. Now, you're welcome. With that said, Carla needed a partner too. And so tonight, the Voices of Women of Color will have a woman who will be appointed as the president of the Voices of Women of Color. And so we'll get back to that. But since my guy Larson and him is running late, and the mayor and everyone else, I wanted to, before we get into the presentation, hear a word from Council President Wooden. I'm sorry, that's my fault, I made a mistake. Carla, okay. And then we'll have City Treasurer Adam Cloud say a word or two. And as they come in, if we're not too far along, it's State Representative Brandon McGee as well. I didn't see you sitting over there, sorry, my brother. So, can you come on up? State Representative, can you start making your way down the block?
Good evening, everyone. And so it is a delight to be here and a joy to stand in the company of such trailblazers. The names, the individuals that we are honoring tonight are truly people who I have worked with, or I have seen their work, or I have been a beneficiary of their work. So I say thank you for what you have contributed to this community, and thank you for the work that you continue to do. To the voices, wow. Wow. It is truly impressive what you have done, the idea of coming together, and it's actually, there's nothing new about women of color working hard, being organized. The only difference is, those of us in politics, we know that the men do all the talking, but when you want the work to get done, you turn to a woman. You know, Kyle, I thought I was running your campaign for real. And so I just want to say, you know, those of us in public service, in politics and government, we see your work, we recognize your work and your value, and thank you, and keep it up.
Come on over here, City Treasurer.
Good evening, all. I can only echo Sean's comments. As a man who is the father of 2 young women of color, married to a strong woman of color and raised by a strong woman of color, my relationship with the Voices of Women of Color has been an exceptional one. One that, and Janice knows, that started out with me reaching out and asking for help, and not a minute went by that every member of the Voices of Women of Color didn't support me in the past, and that relationship has grown to the point that I consider them friend and family. And Janice and I spend a lot of time talking to each other, obviously, in the political space, and one of the things that she and I are beginning to have a conversation about is the need for the recognition of our women in this community and the work that they do. And so Janice and I are going to be working together to begin a program where we're going to highlight the women in this community that are doing the real work, and I look forward to working with them in that in the future. To our recipients this evening, many of whom are friends, mentors, I congratulate you for your life's work. God bless you. This community would not be as strong had you not done your work. Thank you ever so much and good evening.
Well, good evening, everyone. Janice, I even wore my shiny shoes for you. I came ready in GQ for this event, but what I want to say is congratulations to all of our recipients. I can't, say anything else on top of our treasurer and our council president, but what I can say, Janice, is it is great to know that we have a visionary in you and that you remain committed to the work and the work of doing the grind on the bottom level and meeting with folks that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to do what they're doing now. I remember a couple years ago, I met Janice, and you talking about somebody who speaks the truth anywhere she goes. She told me like it was. And she said to me, she said, Brandon, if you really want to make this happen, you'll follow me. You know what I'm saying. I said, all right, Janice, whatever. But what I can say is she's been true, she's been a leader, she's been a friend, and she's also been a couple other things, but one thing that I do know is that she loves her community. She loves all women of color, no matter what pay grade you're on, where you live in the city of Hartford, and even the country. She knows that you're important. And so I want to congratulate the voices of women of color, all of you, Karen and Andrea. I mean, y'all got some heavyweights up there. Everybody else are heavyweights, but those are my two babies there. Nonetheless, thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, so now he's all grown up. And he tries to tell me what to do, and then I send Andrea to go visit him. Okay. We have State Treasurer Denise Napier, who just came in as well. Why don't you come on up?
Good evening, everybody. I am so delighted to be here to join you in paying tribute to tonight's honorees, but I am all the more gratified to be in the company of my good friend Janice and other women of color. One look around this room says that their brand of empowerment is working. And when we think about tonight's honorees, they are the ones that amaze us. They have exemplified what it means to be an example. They have an impeccable track record, but beyond that, they have provided guidance. They have helped many navigate their way in the public and private sectors. They have truly blazed a trail for many to follow. So I am honored to be here this evening to pay homage to them, and including my staunch supporter from day one and throughout my government career, Chief John Stewart. To my distinguished colleague and former state treasurer, Joe Suggs. To the family of the honorable godfather of Hartford's youth, the late Walter Doc Hurley. And to our beautiful sisters who bring added value to our community each and every day. Bailey Addison and Andrea Comer. Now, let me make one other comment. We know that our progress has been challenged by many bumps in the road before, during, and after the Great Recession. Some of us don't know that we were challenged before the Great Recession, not just after the Great Recession. And our system, it's like it's turned upside down, with the rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer, and the middle class being squeezed into oblivion. But we cannot allow that to stop us from moving forward. We cannot allow it to alter our perspective on who would be more inclined to address our needs at the state capitol, in the halls of our city government, and in the halls of Congress. We cannot allow ourselves to be influenced by those who are inclined to say just no. So we've got some work to do, and I know that I am at the right place at the right time with the right folks to say this, that not only does the struggle continue, but you are not alone. We are with you. And as your state treasurer, I will continue to use the clout of the treasurer's office to fight for the expansion of economic opportunity, for basic fairness and justice, and to promote investments in women-owned and led businesses. I know we can do it. Let's keep at it. We need 4 more years.
We have Congressman Larson here tonight, and why don't you come on up? But before you speak, we're gonna let the mayor speak, because you remember what he did last year. So let's let the mayor go first, Congressman. And you look very dashing. Come on up.
Thank you. So, Congressman, come up here so everybody can look at you. You look so handsome. Look at that. So there was a time when I decided to run for mayor, and not very long after that, this young lady by the name of Janice Fleming said, "But you've not spoken to me." And what proceeded after that was a series of conversations where she basically made sure that I was well-grounded and not out of touch with reality. Many honest conversations, because if there's one thing about Janice, and I think I can say the same for each and every one of the honorees, Andrea, Karen, and Mr. Suggs, and Mr. Stewart, and the late Doc Hurley, represented here by his family, is that we need to keep it very honest. And there needs to be honesty in the conversations. For Janice and the woman of color, voices of color, that conversation needs to be very honest, because there's too much inequality in the balance. And I don't want to rattle off all those inequalities, but I really do want to thank you for the advice you've given me, and for always making sure that whenever you need to tell me something, we say in Spanish, and then the other thing that really amazed me when I first met her is that she starts rattling off in Spanish. I said, "Oh, she speaks Spanish." Porque déjame decirte algo, okay? And that's another thing about Janice. When she says voices of women of color, she means voices of women of color. She's very inclusive in terms of Latina woman and Peruvian, everything. So we have this proclamation on behalf of the City Council, and I just want to read it for the honorees.
Okay.
And Andrea, you know I love you.
And I can't say too much about Janice because she gets a little jealous.
It's okay, I got a new boyfriend, he's sitting right there. Sorry, Bree. It's only during working hours.
I'm telling you. So, City of Hartford, Connecticut proclamation by yours truly, the mayor. Whereas Voices of Women of Color is a social justice organization whose goal is to increase the number of women who become advocates, leaders, entrepreneurs, and teachers, mentors in urban communities. Whereas Voices of Women of Color believes in helping women of all socioeconomic, racial, and ethnic backgrounds to develop their leadership skills and to become civic activists. And whereas the goal is accomplished by engaging a range of individuals and organizations in constructive conversations, partnerships, and social networking. And whereas the annual Trailblazers Award ceremony is one that Voices of Women of Color recognizes those who have made their own way in civic life and have helped others to achieve their true potential. Whereas the 2014 Trailblazers event, the achievements and lives of 5 individuals, Karen Bailey Addison, Andrea Comer, Walter Doc Hurley, Joseph Suggs, and John B. Stewart will be recognized and celebrated. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Pedro Segarra, Mayor of the City of Hartford, along with Council President Sean Wooden, your boss, and the Court of Common Council and the residents of Hartford do hereby proclaim the 22nd day of March 2014 as Trailblazers Award Day in the City of Hartford.
Wow, we're not even 50 yet. And we got our own little special guy. Larson, you got dressed up for the Voices this evening, all tucked out. You're so dashing. Look at you. You look like you in your 20s again. Hold on, Carla, what you want to say?
Congressman Larson, no, I love him. Doesn't he look handsome? I mean, I had to go up to him and say, Congressman Larson, oh my goodness, you look so handsome this evening. But you know, he's always supported the Voices of Women of Color, and just like we've always supported him, and you look dashing. So I want your dashing self to come up here and say a couple of words.
Well, thank you. Boy. You know, boy, I'm so flattered and carried away. This wonderful tribute by these beautiful women of color, but leave it to Steve Harris to bring you down to earth. He looked at me and said, what are you, Cleve Royster's ballet? I mean, come on. Well, listen, what an honor to be here this evening, and Janice, the work that you have done is just exceptional and incredible. President Kennedy would always say that communities reveal an awful lot about themselves in the memorials they create and in the people that they honor. And this evening, this community stands taller because of the people that you honor and recognize. I am so pleased to be here and have congressional recognition on behalf of not only myself, but the entire congressional delegation to recognize a significant achievement throughout their lives. So if I could have the, Ellen, if you could bring those up to me, for Andrea, for Karen, for Joe, and for John. I just have to say a couple of things. To have worked over a political lifetime with such incredible individuals, and especially Andrea and Karen, you know, your work has been just incredible and is ongoing. To serve with someone like Chief Stewart and to watch him in operation and what he means to this community was extraordinary as well. And my dear friend, Joe Suggs, who I can't say enough about, and his family, and all that they have meant to this community is incredible. I know Denise mentioned that he was treasurer, and of course, as you know, served in the state senate, and also we ran together for Congress. And nothing ever separated the deep friendship and respect we have for one another. That's the way we grew up in politics and in life, and I'm so grateful that I'm here this evening to honor you. And also, Doc Hurley. What a tribute to be at that memorial service and to hear everybody speak. I think Cleve could have gone on for the whole morning, but he was fabulous. And to see the outpouring of this community. We also have with us this evening a flag that we have flown over the United States Capitol in his memory. And I'm sure Doc is looking down and smiling this evening as well. So always an honor to be here, but I can't leave without saying how critical Voices was in the election of our president, and why that continues to be so important in terms of the support that this president richly deserves. What a great honor for me to have served as a leader in the Democratic Party in this administration, to have just a few weeks ago flown on Air Force One with the president. Let me say flat out, the President of the United States is cool. He picked Villanova tonight. I can forgive him for that because he picked our woman to win it all. That wasn't such a hard choice, but what he has done day in and day out is bring the dignity and the decorum and the sense of purpose and the steady hand at the wheel, while his detractors attack him from every single side. There is so much money spent daily in trying to tarnish his reputation, trying to obstruct his programs, that we have to just push all the harder. These midterm elections are so vitally important to making sure that we preserve this president's legacy, this president's toughness, this president's ability to lead the country, not only as commander-in-chief, but also leading this country with the kind of passion and dignity that is so prideful of people who understand when someone who is the first of their generation, of their color or their creed, who rises to the position not just as President of the United States, but the leader of the entire free world. I love Barack Obama. We have to make sure that this president has the support worthy of the dignity that he brings every day to this job. And while we have all these people down in Washington calling to attack every single nation where there's an uprising, isn't it good to know that you have a president that stands steady and firm for peace and justice and the American way, who's willing to stand up for the poorest amongst us, who will still talk about the minimum wage, who cares deeply about people, who's been there for the Affordable Health Care Act in the state of Connecticut. Our governor stands with him. In the state of Connecticut, our General Assembly is making sure that there's minimum wage and dignity and an affordable health care program that's going to work for this country. Rise up, everyone, and stand behind the President of the United States, Barack Obama. God bless you. God bless America. Congratulations to our honorees. Look forward to working with you all.
This is Kayla from Voices with Kayla Williams, and we are at the Trailblazers event, the second annual Trailblazers event. And I have with me State Representative Brandon McGee. Hello, how are you?
I'm well. I'm even more excited that I'm here at the Voices of Women of Color Second Annual Trailblazers Award ceremony, and it's just amazing to be here with the Hartford community coming together to celebrate.
And how have you seen it grow from last year's event?
Last year, it was a lot of people, but this year, it's even more people here, and it's a true testament of what the Voices of Women of Color are doing in the Hartford community and even in this state.
And what is your relationship with the Voices of Women of Color?
That's a very interesting question. I started with Voices way back when Janice Fleming had this idea of the Organizing Leadership Academy, OLA, and her premise behind all of that was to just train women of color around professional civic engagement and organizing in our community. And so I sat on the board for a short while and really helping and learning as a child of Voices of Women of Color.
So if you had to describe the Voice of Women of Color to a complete stranger, what 3 words would you use to sum them up?
I would say leadership, innovative, and powerful.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the night. Hello, I am standing here with Mr. Tom Page. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. How are you enjoying the event?
I'm really happy to see a lot of folks that I don't always see every day, and it's a little bit of a homecoming. And someone said to me earlier tonight, if you're in politics in Hartford, this is the place to be, and we would have never thought of that 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
So it's great that the girls have done what they've done and established this organization and seen it grown and seen it stabilize itself to be able to put on an event and have this many people show up and have a good time.
Yes, and we are going to have a good time. And what is your relationship to the Voices or to anyone in the Voices?
Janice came to my office years ago and said, I got to hand flyers out and I got to put out lawn signs. What do I do? And so I remember when she first started helping out some elected officials, the politicians who were running for office. And so my office was downtown at the time on Lewis Street, and she knew where we were. And so she came in and we gave her pointers and away she went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you familiar with any of the honorees tonight?
Yeah, I know all of them. Joe Suggs is a very, very old friend. Andrea has been a friend for a long, long time. And Andrea walked me down Barber Street when I ran for city council in 2007. Said, come on, let's go. We're walking. And on Sunday afternoon, she and I walked down Barber Street and Edgewood Street and Garden Street. We did the whole loop. So I've known Andrea a long time. She's a good kid. Who else are the honorees? Oh, Chief Stewart. And his son Jeff's been a great friend for many, many years. I was on the Elizabeth Park board for years, and Jeff was on the Friends of Keeney Park board. And his dad was around in politics when I first got into politics. So, and then he's still around, and I got out of politics.
A lot of history.
I know. Who else are the honorees? Joe, Chief Stewart, Andrea,
yep.
Doc Hurley,
and Miss Addison.
Who?
Miss Addison.
Oh, that's right. Yes, she was on town committee with me years ago. Yeah, back in the early 2000s, late 90s. Yeah, I haven't seen her in ages. I got to say hello to her tonight.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the night.
All right, you too.
Thanks. tonight?
Very well, thank you.
Did you just enjoy the show, the band?
Every time I see our young people doing something positive and with such craftsmanship, it just goes to show that we always say about the other side of Hartford. Very rarely do we see this side of Hartford. And like someone said when they were finished, we need to put music back in the school because obviously our children have musical talent and it's a discipline. And I just, when I come to these kinds of things, I love to see young people involved doing positive things.
It was great to see them. Yes. Are you enjoying the night?
Listen, the voices always do it right. As you can see, this is a community event. These are community folks in here. You know what I mean? They deserve, in my humble opinion, they deserve real high props and praise because what the voices do, there are departments that don't do it as well, who get paid to do it. The voices do it because they love our community. And like I said, I'm just a big fan and big supporter of the voices.
Now, for someone on the outside that didn't attend this event, how would you sum it up to them so they can maybe want to come next year?
If you want to come to something that really has meaning, it deals with the issues that affect us as a people in our community, then this is one of those events that you shouldn't want to miss. Because aside from recognizing people who do good works all the time, and in most cases never get recognized for it, it's just it's almost like a family reunion. It's almost like a family. It has that kind of a feel of a family reunion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the night. Hello, I'm here with Council President Sean Wooden. How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful tonight. This is a wonderful event. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, how did you just enjoy the show?
Oh, the show was awesome. I mean, those kids on the drums, they were doing it. Yeah.
So what is your relationship with the Voices?
So the Voices, the founder of the Voices, Janice Fleming, actually works for me in my city council office. And the Voices, they've been very supportive of my initiatives and of me politically. And I've admired their work over the years and just respect in terms of empowering women and just being in the community engaged and being honest about the conditions of our community and trying to affect change.
So for a person that has never been to the Trailblazers event, what are some words you can use to describe this event?
This is a wonderful and unique event, just bringing together the community and just kind of folks who put in work way back in the day, who we respect and admire. Some of them are honorees, some of them are just in the audience. I mean, that's what this is about, and just bringing community together. And it's a wonderful love affair.
And how would you sum up the Voices in 2 words?
Empowerment and community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the night.
I wanted to, before we continue with the program, 1 second, Sarah, I want to just point out the young people who moved me at a parade, the Hooker Day Parade. And Hooker Day Parade had all these big bands, and there was probably about 7 of them. And I kept hearing this music that was moving me, and I was wondering where it was coming from. And then I just seen these little kids coming up, hitting the drums, and everybody else, like myself, was mesmerized. And I just wanted them to come back and give them a clap. They live in North Hartford. I think that's important to say. North and South Hartford, throughout Hartford. And Duffy Stocks and Terry Stocks and Mama Scoochie have spent a lot of time making sure that these young people stay off the streets and stay involved in something positive. And so I just wanted us to get them a hand clap before they go home. Thank you, guys. Now, last year, during our first annual Trailblazer Award ceremony, you all blessed us so we can bless St. Francis Women's Center with the $1,000. What? I'm sorry, Carla. The St. Francis Stroke Center in Jean's ward name, and yep, that's right. And this year, we will be honoring the Crex Trudy Merrill Family Resource Center. As you all know, that's right. It is no secret, Trudy Merrill was my bestie, my mentor, the mentor to the voices, the woman who taught me the importance of a kitchen table, helped me learn how to only cuss when I'm on the phone instead of in public, and just helped me be a woman. Today I am a woman, a lot because of her. And so tonight, yeah, we got fancy this year, y'all. We have this check for $2,000 in my girl Trudy name. Now, Eric Crawford isn't here, but I told him, I said, listen, there's only one language the private sector understands, and that's called fiscal stakeholder. Absolutely. And the voice is a fiscal stakeholder, so the first time is a problem, we will be at your door. So, but this money will go to the YMCA on Albany Avenue, where Trudy Room is, and it will help out with some of the things they are doing with the kids in North Hartford, and we hope to continue to add to the pot so we can make sure that more kids are served. I'm going to have Sarah come up and say a word or two on behalf of the Johnson family.
Thank you so much for this contribution to my Mom's Resource Center. It goes to really great use. We've been engaged as a family with the center. They actually named it on her birthday, which was September 6th. And they have done wonderful things there. So please check it out. Eric's doing an amazing job. I'd like to say congratulations to the honorees tonight. Some are family, some are my mom's girls. And so Janice Fleming, right? So I met Janice many years ago. She was the hostess at Savannah, my sister's restaurant. And then I see Janice at my mom's house, and I'm like, you know, okay, we're sharing our mom all this whole time, get a little sick of it. And my mom's like, you know, the voices. And I'm like, what's the voices, Mom? So my mother lived with us her last 10 months of her life, and she said to me, Sarah, these women are my friends. And she would be so proud tonight, and I am so honored to be here.
Yep, folks, that is my family. Look, don't she look like Trudy? She hates doing she the girl and stuff. Jeffrey, you want to say something? No, I'm all right. You all right? Evan? Okay. Thank you, y'all. I love y'all. So now, I know Andrea Comer is an honoree, but she's also a very dear friend of Auntie Kay, AKA Karen Bailey Addison, who was my mother, who is no longer with me, best friend as a child. And so when I got older and I got to Blue Hills, she said, child, what's your mother's name? Is your mother named Brenda? Andrea, why don't you come up and talk to us about Auntie Kay?
So most people know that I have two mentors because they're around all the time, but it's always good to have a secret weapon. And I first met Karen probably more than 10 years ago, and the director of Health and Human Services at the time, Ramon Rajano, had sent me over to her because Karen was known to chew people up and spit them out. So, so I go over, it's Bailey Addison, I've heard so much about you. What's your name? Andrea. Okay, Drea. What people don't know about Karen is that she truly is an unsung hero. The time and the passion and the heart that she devotes to our elders, few people know about. Whether it is helping them with estate planning, whether it is standing in to be a child for them because their children are not around, whether it is about just creating a safe space for our seniors to be honored and to be loved and to be respected. That's what Karen has done for several years and continues to do. I am tremendously, tremendously lucky to be able to call her a mentor. She has, my other two mentors are guys, I'll get to them later. But there's something about having a strong Black woman in your corner. And that's what Karen is for me. You inspire me, and I'm so grateful for you, and I love you. So come get your award.
Thank you, Drea, for those kind words. I am not a trailblazer. I am just a single child with a twin brother and 11 other brothers and sisters. I couldn't even imagine what it would be like to be a single child, though. But I do thank Drea, and I thank Janice, who was willing to listen. Janice also comes from the school of what comes up, comes out. But Janice has really grown and taken the time to listen. I grew up in Charter Oak with her mother. She's absolutely right. So when you grow up in Hartford and you know everybody, the first thing you do is ask, what's your mama name? And 9 times out of 10, everybody knows everybody. So I thank you, Drea, and I thank you, Janice, for all the good work you do and you're going to continue to do. Thank you.
Okay, now, education is something that is a pressing issue at this time. And Andrea Comer, who is a commissioner, a leader in education, an advocate, my sister, my friend, has shown us that when you engage your communities on all levels, the world could be a better place for our children. I am honored to call you my sister. I am definitely happy that you have been a part of my development. And I'm just gonna have you come up here because everybody kind of like already know how I feel about you, and I told Senator Coleman that I wasn't gonna cry this year. So, Andrea.
Thank you, guys. So I talked about one mentor. I'm gonna start by thanking the voices. There's something really incredible about going through something difficult or something painful and knowing that there is a team of women there to support you and to have your back. And so I thank the voices for being that for me. I have other female friends, I see Patrell, and just who have been there for me, and it makes a tremendous difference. Where's Where is Steve? Hi, Steve. Thank you. Steve, John, they make up the trifecta that is that are my mentors. You all guide me, you support me, you help me through everything, and I am so very grateful. I feel like where I am today has everything to do with you all. I feel like I'm at the Oscars. I'm gonna accept this and thanking my parents, because my parents, their differences, their dad Republican, mama a Democrat, really just providing a bunch of different viewpoints and making me open to hearing people and voices. Ashley, you are the love of my life. You inspire me to be a better person every day. And I'm so very grateful that as much as you hate that I'm in this, that you continue to support me. Everybody knows that I have a daughter. What they may not know is that I have babies. Kyren, Taquan, Deshaun, would you guys stand up, please? 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to work with a group of young people at Fox Middle School who changed my life because they made me look at Hartford and at children and at education in a new way. There is a group of them, and these three were able to make it. You all are the strongest people I know. You all have endured and survived and kept going. And I know that your paths have been different, but I know how successful you all are gonna be because I believe in you and I love you. And this room is gonna be here to support you, and I promise you that. Thank you all so very much. I told you she'd do it for the kids. Ash, you wanna say a word or two? Go ahead, Joe. You know you love your mom. Be quick. My mother has been in this for a very long time, and I'm just really excited that people are finally seeing the amazing person that I've always known. It was really hard for us because we're not originally from Connecticut, and it was kind of hard for me because she devoted so much time and so much energy. We're originally from New York. She devoted all this time and energy to people who it seemed like weren't there to support her. And I'm looking in this room at all these people, and you guys are here to support her, and I really appreciate it. I'm just so proud of you. Cousin Steve. Oh, AKA Chief Captain Steve Harris. My cousin, y'all 5th District Town Committee member, African American. All right, I'm gonna stop. I don't gotta put all your business out there. I love you.
First of all, good evening, everybody. Let me tell you something about Hartford. Those of us that have been here all our lives, and I'm one of those people, Hartford is nothing more than one extended family. You either, everybody knows what the Brickyard was. Everybody knows what the Ville was. And it's just, as Janice said, when you met somebody, the first thing you ask them is, who your people? And I had firsthand experience with that, because I almost went out with my first cousin. So I asked her, who your people? And then when she told me, I was like, damn. That's a true story. But that was before I married my lovely wife, Ann. Who I have been married to for 45 years. Thank you, baby. I'm here to present an award to a person that I don't have to explain to y'all. You know, in this country, they talk about the George Washingtons, the Abe Lincolns, this and that. In our neighborhood, we talk about Doc. We talk about Doc. What Doc meant to us, he was a mentor, he was a father, and I'm not just talking about a father to his children, I'm talking about a father to us. But most importantly, he was our conscience and our moral compass. When things got tough in this city, back in them days, when the students at Weevil, after the death of Dr. King, were getting set to tear that school up, they didn't send the police, they sent Doc. They sent Doc. The reason Weaver High is standing today is because of Doc. That was the character of the man, that was the respect of the man. He was not, as I said, just a mentor or a father to us. He was everything each and every one of us wanted to be. So first and foremost, I'm really honored to have been asked to present this award, the Lifetime Achievement Award. Doc has passed on, but his legacy will never pass on. Never. So I would ask that his granddaughter, Stacy Hurley Cloud, please come here and accept the award for your grandfather, the greatest of the great in our community.
Thank you. And in the spirit of the evening, thank you, Uncle Steve, for that introduction. As he said, my name is Stacy Hurley Cloud, and bear with me because it's a humbling experience to have to accept something so profound, not because you earned it, but because you shared the blood of someone who did. So, thank you. On behalf of the Hurley family, I thank you, the voices, specifically Janice, for honoring my grandfather with this award of Lifetime Achievement. I would also like to congratulate the other Trailblazers for their service and commitment to community. At my grandfather's service last month, there was a musical selection, Let My Work Speak for Me. It was a beautiful summation of my grandfather's life. He loved Hartford, and he loved the people of Hartford. Excuse me. There were so many people that shook my hand that day, black, white, young, old, from all walks of life, and they all were his friend. They told me he was a teacher, a coach, a mentor, a disciplinarian, a hero, a father, and a friend. And I think that was a testament that his life truly has spoken for him. So with that, I repeat the words I spoke 30 years ago, actually this year, when I presented my grandfather with his retirement award. So I say, congratulations, Pop Pop. I'm so proud of you. Thank you.
Cousin Steve's such a gentleman. Look how he walk, y'all. Look how he walk. Look how he walk. And he's smooth. He a gentleman and he's smooth. Okay. Senator Coleman, can I please call you up so we can honor one of my dearest friends?
Well, about this gentleman, He has so many amazing qualities, I don't know where to begin or what to emphasize. First of all, he loves God. He's devoted to his family and extremely loyal to his friends. He believes in public service, and most of you know that he served the people of the state of Connecticut as state treasurer. He served the residents of the town of Bloomfield as its mayor. But what you may not know is that he's been involved in so many civic affairs and community efforts. He's been a mentor to so many people. He's extremely generous with his time and his advice, not to mention his money. He has been a friend to me since I arrived in the town of Bloomfield, which goes back to 1986. And I'm here to tell you, I am evidence that if you have Joe Suggs as a friend, you can't ask for a better friend. He's extremely political, he's intelligent, and a brilliant political strategist. I've been the beneficiary of his efforts for all the years that I've been in office. He's received many awards. I still don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. He's deserving of this award and every other award that may be presented to him in the future. He's been immense to the town of Bloomfield and to the state of Connecticut. Thank you for honoring my friend, my good friend, Joe Suggs.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Senator Coleman, for that very gracious introduction. I would be remiss if I didn't just comment on Doc Hurley. Many of us knew Doc as a friend, as a coach, as a principal, as a community supporter of Weaver, but Doc was much, much more than that. Doc was an institution, and that institution will live on, I believe, forever. And we are all the beneficiaries of what Doc Hurley has done. I just had to say something about my friend. I am truly humbled to be among such a distinguished group of award recipients. So I do want to congratulate my fellow honorees for their very, very well-deserved awards. I want to begin by thanking the Voices for selecting me for this award. This is an honor that will hold a very special place in my heart because it comes from a group of women, all of whom are very, very special to me. I also want to thank the Voices for their courage and their many significant contributions to improve our community. I know that the Voices are voices of women of color, but when they raise those articulate, forceful, beautiful voices, they speak for all those who are voiceless and all those who are powerless in our community. Voices, I love all of you, and I appreciate all the work you've done for me in this community. So to all my brothers, now, what I'm about to say doesn't apply to any of my brothers in here tonight, because I know you all do the right thing. But to those outside this room, and particularly to some of my younger brothers, we can support these ladies and we can help them. And we can begin by stepping up our game and treating these sisters and all sisters with the dignity, the respect, and the honor they have earned and that they deserve. So that's it. I'm all through preaching. That's my sermon for tonight. But once again, this is a wonderful honor that I will always cherish. It is so much more meaningful to me because I'm able to share it with my family and friends. So if I could just ask all of them just to stand for a brief moment so that I can publicly say thank you for your support, thank you for your love, and thank you for being here to share this with me tonight. Right at this table over here. Can we just give them a round of applause? And finally, to the voices, continue being the voice of Ella Cromwell, the voice of Trudy Merrill, and so many others who were your voice just a few years ago. Thank you all very, very much.
I hope the guys outside of the room was listening to Papa Joe. So we have the governor who's here. How are you? We're going to ask the governor to hold on 1 second so we can get with the chief. Now, I know the governor's important, but we talking about the chief. Yeah. Can I have Lieutenant Lionel Thompson and the president of the Phoenix Society, Ewan Sharif, and member of the 7th District Town Committee for Change, come up here so you guys can present the chief the award.
Good evening, good evening. I have the honor of not only introducing the chief, I just want to give a little story about everybody on the panel here, because I am dedicated, you hear me? One thing Chief Stewart taught us is each one reach one, and all I am I owe, okay? Starting from my right, Miss Karen Addison Bailey. People don't know, okay? We all grew up in the Blue Hills neighborhood. The Baileys were the biggest and the baddest. But after, when we first came on the fire department, we got the Phoenix Society Club. I like to cook a little bit, give back to the community. It was myself, Bradley Jones, and my father. My father's more like a hustler. You know what I mean? I'm like a workaholic. And Mr. Jones know how to pull everything together and keep the books. So Karen put all three of us together and said, listen, we need you guys at the North End Senior Center. My father said, I'm retired, I'll never work again. 15 years later, Karen still got us hustling down there. She is the start of T&J Food Service, okay? And mind you, T&J did not cook tonight, so let's give it up to Chef Walk, who cooks here every day. Phenomenal sandwiches, and today he showed you what he can do for catering. So you can give me some weekends off and call this brother, okay? We had some rising stars in the North End. It's time to come back to North End and spend your money, recycle our money, all right? I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Miss Andrea Comer, oh my God. When we are so stressed out and we need the beautiful voices of women of color and Andrea to put everything together or to get the politicians in the same room or to whatever we need, these women are the people that make us go forward. Okay? I have more later. We'll talk later. Mr. Joe Suggs, a trailblazer in his own right, mayor, entrepreneur. Growing up, that name was just like Trantolo and Trantolo, growing up in the neighborhood, all right? You know you in Suggs, you know he was had his hands in everything, all right? Walked to Doc Hurley, posthumous walk to Doc Hurley. I'm a Weaver graduate, third lunch wave. Doc Hurley walking down the hall with a pocket full of money. All those little street boys ain't have nothing on Doc. He said, I'll buy lunch for all this whole side of the room. Boy, get that little bit of money back in your pocket. Went up to the Mohegan. Both of our Beaver ladies and men lost. I'm sad today. This is deeper than the Patriots. But Doc is looking down. He still got the Red Sox and the Cowboys. Okay. And last but not least, the man of the hour, and I want to introduce to you our newly elected president of the Phoenix Society, and he will present the award to Chief John B. Stewart Jr.
Thank you, Larry. I'm going to keep it brief. Chief Stewart is a legend in this community, in the city. I mean, he was a legend before I even got on the job. From President James Hill of the International Association of Black Professional Firefighters, from Director Del Coward of the Northeast Region, and from brothers and sisters of the Phoenix Society, our local chapter here in Hartford, it's truly an honor and a pleasure to present to you this award, sir.
Hi, everybody. My late wife, and we were married for 63 years. And she finally told me, you need to come home and take care of us. Since she's been gone, my youngest daughter, Holly, Jeffrey, where's the real politician? Here somewhere. Where's Jeff? Back. Who's he supporting now? My sister-in-law, Barbara Wiggins, the brother I never had through life, Harold Lee, Henry Hester, Mr. Frenzakini. I never knew I had to do things in Keeney Park until he reminded me, especially when I was on council. And Tommy Chisholm, part of the family. My daughter says she's never getting married, so Tommy, okay. To the governor, the treasurer, state senator, president of the council person, and Anderson, and we're related too, right? I thought so. Yeah, Marietta Candy. And my honors candy, that was, yeah, I knew, I told you, Steve, we're all related.
I'm related to you.
That's how we made it. That's how I survived in the city. That's how I got the top votes when I decided to run for council. We're all related. They didn't know that. Councilman Cruz, and today at the Alliance meeting, brother, doctor. Little joke. He thought he was Bill Clinton at the Alliance meeting today. He said, we. And I saw Council Majority Leader Aponte. Yeah, okay. And Councilperson Cynthia Jennings. Tell you something. When they thought that John Stewart did the recruiting and we began to change the complexion of the fire department, it was Plan B. Cynthia Jennings. I used to be good to remember everybody. State Representative Brandon, yes, thank you. No, did I miss anybody? Where's my other cousin, Steve? Did I miss him? Oh, Doug, state rep, my state rep too. 7th district. Where you at? Okay, thank you. Thanks very much. You know, it's a long journey. When I looked at the ads at the Phoenix, I said, huh? Oh yeah, former state representative Kirkley Day. Oh, good, thank you. See, I need help. I used to remember off the top of my head. But I remember the day that the Hartford Fire Department was going to all quit, I think. Not all of them, the Phoenix Society and the Hispanics that we had just recruited and hired. There were 24 of them in the Phoenix Society. God bless them. Publicly said, we welcome Hispanics. I remember the day of May 16th, 1979. It was my birthday. I thought I had it off until that Julio Lozada incident happened. And that led to, I took the lead with the help of the community, and we recruited and hired the first 24 Hispanics. When you look at this morning's paper and you see Carlos Hertes, he was one of the 24 that we hired, and I watched him come up and kept his commitment to the community. And before that, Eddie Caceres kept his commitment to the community. He became chief. We weren't going to fall apart. All I wanted was a fire department that reflected Hartford and reflected America. And with the help of so many people in this community, we did it. And I remember when I was made fire chief at 1:32 p.m. in the afternoon on August the 2nd, 1980. I'll never forget the time and place. I knew what the attitude was. And I said, you know what? Wait till I hire the women. And with the help of special services, that's an honor and distinction to be head of the special services. We did it. In 1982, Zandra Clay and Maria Ortez. And we didn't do anything different. They went through the training like everybody else. We took the myth away for what you had to be a judge. You passed the test and we took you for training for 18 weeks. And at the end of 18 weeks, you could take a 200-pound person, you could climb a ladder. We just proved it, if you just give us a chance. And that's what I see today. And I'm praying for Hillary Clinton to be the next president. I had a good ride over 50 years. 41 years in the fire department. My last 12 years as chief is the longest serving chief in the history of this department. And when I left, my wife said, you staying home? I said, no. Mr. and Mrs. Wooden were instrumental, the president's father, of me coming on the time committee. Then I got crazy. I was the spokesperson. He put the 5th, the 8 jobs, God bless him. I said 8, the 5th, the 7th, and the West End, and we got the votes. I used those votes to get myself. Then after 2 terms, I said, Steve Harris is going to take my place. He did. Then Ann told him to come home after that first term. Hey, I had a good time over 50 years. 1970, former Chief Everett M. Curtin Jr., the fellow that was instrumental in changing the fire service to an educational service, not put out the fire, but education. Smoke detectors, firefighters changed, technology changed, and we did it. Well, one of the greatest things that happened was in 1970 when we hosted the first meeting of the International Association of Black Professional Firefighters in Hartford. We started with New York City, Newark, New Jersey, Jersey City, Philadelphia, and Hartford. Today, we're over 165 chapters in Barbados and in London, England. And it started here in Hartford, Connecticut, with the Phoenix Society hosting it. And I was fortunate to be chairperson, but that was it. My wife said, you're not going to be president and travel the United States. But I can look across this country to every city that we sent people of color to serve on all panels. In my early days, we won't even talk about the black beds, but they were here in Hartford, Connecticut, at Main and Belgium Street, and on Market Street. There was a dormitory, and that's the only place that we could go because they refused to sleep with us in the open buggies. That's Hartford. Things go right. My book should be out next month. God bless everybody. The women of color, God bless you.
So, as you can see, we have some amazing trailblazers this evening. Before we have Carla come up to do the passing of the torch, we're going to hear from our governor, my governor, your governor, Governor Malloy.
Hey, thank you. It is, it's a room full of history and living history. Everyone in this community should be proud of what has been given testimony to and the accomplishments of all of the honorees and the stories that have been told, the history that's been made. It is quite remarkable. Hartford itself is an unbelievable place. Kathy and I got to move here 3.5 years ago. It's where I vote. It's our home now, and it's great to be in another living room of that home tonight. I want to say to the honorees that you had a tremendous impact on the community. Chief, I gotta tell you, I was sitting here listening to you and learning, and it was really a great telling of your history and Hartford's history and black firefighter history in America. So thank you for all that you've accomplished. Just unbelievable. Listen, so we can talk about history and talk about everything we've accomplished. We still have a lot of work to do in our city, in our state, and in our nation. This is a great time to take some credit for what great people have done, but there's so much more work to be done out there. You know, you look at the disparity between what women earn and men earn in the same jobs in the same profession. It makes no sense. We've got to make real progress on that. Black women's earning about 68, 69 cents on the dollar of what men make. White women, quite frankly, at about 76 cents. We've got to do better than that as a society, and we've got to hold ourselves up to that. I've been involved in this minimum wage battle nationally now, and I'm proud to do it. But when you look at the statistics and you understand that only 12% of the people earning minimum wage are teenagers, that 13% of the people weren't earning minimum wage in this country are 55 years or older, it is remarkable. When you understand that 60% of the people earning a minimum wage in our state are women, and most of them are supporting families at home, we've got to do better as a society than we're currently doing. And it's the voices that make that happen. Now, it's been a tough year in Hartford for the people that we've lost. It's been a tough year. I had the high honor and privilege of talking about Trudy Morrow at her, and there's her daughter. I was looking for you, by the way. Now I heard you. What a remarkable, I mean, we talk about the accomplishments of the people sitting up here, but what a remarkable woman and what a remarkable impact to serve in the administration of 4 different governors, to organize campaigns and careers around her table, to pinch you if you weren't paying attention. I was on both sides of that, by the way, I might add. I wanted to note what a great loss and passing that was. But again, just another remarkable Hartfordite that did remarkable things. So you know what we take away from a night like this? We've come a long way. We've got a long way to go. We've got to inspire another generation of people to replace us, and we have to make them better activists than we were, and that's a tough thing to do nowadays. So to have an organization like the Voices, to have it work so hard, to have it honor the past and predict the future is a tremendous thing, and thank you ever so much for inviting me to be with all of you. Congratulations and God bless you, and let us not stop. Thank you. Let me say one other thing. Chief, I was late here, and I've got to go to one other thing. But the thing I just came from, and this would be close to your heart, was a celebration of the rebuilding of the burn unit down at Bridgeport Hospital. We are fortunate to have one of the 64 burn centers nationally, and that center has just been made that much better and stronger, including rooms for relatives of burn victims to stay in the hospital during the critical times. I come from a family of firefighters. My uncle Juki Robati had badge #1 in Stanford Fire Service. My nephew Brian is a fire person in Stanford as well. I wanted to share that with you because it's great work. And you know who's raising most of the money for that? Firefighters across the state of Connecticut. God bless you all. Have a great day.
So, Carla, can you come up? Before we do the passing of the torch, thank you, Governor, for coming to our event this evening. But before we get on with the grand finale, there's been 2 men, well, we've had a bunch of men who have been very supportive of us, but 2 men in particularly who was very instrumental in helping us with the infrastructure and the branding of the Voices of Women of Color. You see how everything kind of matched, like the logo and all of that stuff always looked so pretty. Well, we didn't necessarily do that, but because we just start allowing, like Stan, he has taped over, 6 years of our videos, and he has always been instructed when he's in our space and in our room that he cannot talk. We don't let men talk in our meetings, so it works for him because he's behind the camera. But he was shocked, I guess, 2 weeks ago when the Voices was talking to him, and he was real quiet because no one had told him at this point. We said, okay, you can say something. But I wanted to thank Stan publicly. Yep. Because of Stan, we were able to bring our conversations all over the city of Hartford right in their living room. And I would have people who walk up to me and say, I know you. And I would smile and they said, you're on Channel 5. I seen your show. And that would not happen without Access TV and Stan McCauley. So tonight we wanted to say publicly, thank you, Stan, and come up here. We got a little something for you too. My man Stan. You want to say something now? You could talk since we let you talk now. Go ahead and say something. Go ahead. Keep it quick. Be quick.
All right, let me set the record straight once and for all. Without divulging private conversations. Janice is now, always has been, and always will be family and friends. And the voices have always been there. There's never been separation between me and Janice. There never will be.
Now, people always say, Janice, your flyers are so pretty. Oh my, the Voices of Women of Color business cards is just pretty. Oh, your website is really pretty. Well, guess what? Hartford has talented people, specifically in North Hartford. Sorry. This guy's on the avenue in Baltimore Street. We was going to tie him up when he left our building, but since he only went around the corner, we decided to let him go. My dear friend Judah from Artworks Unlimited, our web designer, our brander, the guy who's in charge of all my collateral pieces, the brochures, the everything. Judah, I love how you be making us look pretty. And the logo look pretty on the awards. And we spell Artworks Unlimited, right?
Piece it out. Go ahead. We know you're behind the computer all the time. Say one word.
Stage fright. Okay. I said my prayers all the way on up here, but I want to say I'm honored and humbled to be in the presence of such, great leaders tonight. I want to thank the Voices for acknowledging, the work I do and giving me the chance to do what I love to do. And hopefully I can continue to keep bringing interesting pieces to the public. Thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't talk much. He sits in front of a computer designing all day. So now, we're going to have Carla pass the torch so we can move the tables and everything, and the DJ can do her thing, and then y'all can socialize if y'all want to and dance. But we have one last thing to do, and then you all can have fun or go home. So, Carla, can you get on with the get on?
Good evening, everybody. 4 years ago came a young lady to our attention that lived in the 1st District, and she wanted to do something to help out her community. So we engaged her and we trained her, and that 4 years has come a long way. And I'm very proud of her. She's come a long way. I'm passing my torch over to her, and it's well-deserving. Your new president of the Voices of Women of Color is Miss Evelyn Dukes. Come on up here, girl. This is well-deserving. I want to thank you for your hard work, your commitment. We love you, and job well done.
I am so very humbled. I worked so hard for this. I worked so hard for this. I love my community. I love what I do. I love the Voices of Women of Color. I want to thank my family, my friends, everybody who here that got love for me. Just thank you so much for supporting us. And I will continue to do better for the greater good. Thank you.
She's such a diva, isn't she?
I think Evelyn was practicing that in the mirror. But what everybody needs to know, like seriously, we tallied up the voter card numbers. And in 4.5 years, Evelyn has registered 3,500 people.
throughout the state of Connecticut. Good job, Ed. All right, so we thank you all for coming. I am happy you were here. I am happy we survived it. I am happy we shared love together, and I'm more than happy that tomorrow I will be at the spa. Thank you all for coming. Please stay and enjoy the music and dance and have fun and whatever else. Good night and thank you.